Happy new day. Happy new day. We are going to enjoy a morning flow this morning. Inspired by New Culture One. New Culture One is my total body 20-minute yoga sequence that I have. Though there's a New Culture 1, 2, and 3. So New Culture 1 is the beginner friendly one. It's great for a morning flow. And then also up on our YouTube page, I also do have a playlist called Morning Routine. So in that you have the New Culture 1 and a couple of other things that I personally do every morning for a while now for my morning routine. So we're going to tap into our own morning routine right now. Let's find our seat on the mat and start off with our favorite 4-8 breaths. So we inhale for 4, exhale for 8. Okay, let's start there. So maybe you bring a hand to your heart or your belly if that feels good to you. And we inhale for 4, exhale for 8, inhale for 4, exhale 8, inhale for 4, exhale 8. 2 more times. Inhale for 4, exhale 8, inhale for 4, exhale for 8. Let's roll the shoulders up and back about 5 times. Opening up space. Not even opening up space. Let's see what's going on. Let's notice the limitations of our shoulder rolls. 5 shoulder rolls forward. I like to use these first movements as a little check-in for the body, as well as something to kind of warm up a little bit. Draw the shoulder blades together. Open your heart upward. Exhale, round the spine, drop the chin. Catch your weight in your hands at your knees. Let's keep moving through this about 5 times. Right here, there's no need to force. We're not forcing the stretch. We're using the stretch to kind of get a gauge, like temperature check, how we're doing this morning. Last one. Nice, sit up tall. Now let's take our chest around in a circle, kind of like we're playing hula hoop, or there's a little circle around our chest and we're trying to touch every side of the circle. So let's do this about 3 to 5 times in one direction. As you exhale, round the spine. As you inhale, bring the heart forward. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So go ahead and switch directions. I think I have one more to go. Let's switch directions. I don't know about you, but this is feeling good first thing in the morning. I've gotten into a new habit when I partake in plant-based medicine to also get some core work in, and I'm feeling it today. I'm really feeling it today. All right. Let's drop the right ear to the right shoulder and reach the left arm out. Let's breathe deeply. 4-8 breath. This is my favorite breath. If you do yoga and you're like, oh, this is interesting. What is this 4-8 breath? in for 4, out for 8 is a breathwork and breathing technique, but we have been doing it here in our New Culture studio space to open up our bodies. Let's do the other way. So between our postures and when we're resting in our postures, we've been doing this 4-8 breath instead of just breathe in, breathe out. And I don't know about you, but it's a nice, for me, it's like a nice way to get an even deeper relaxation in the present moment by doing this breath that calms the nervous system. Last breath. All right, so now we'll just tilt the chin down and up. So you're tracing a line with your nose, drawing your chin down as far as it will go this morning and all the way up. We don't want to crunch the back of the neck. I always almost overemphasize that when we're doing things that require some sort of neck movement or like spinal alignment. I'm always like, don't crank the neck, because that could be bad for you over time. All right, now let's take some circles. Start with one direction. And still try to tap into your breath. So as you exhale, sweep your chin down and across, and then up and over. It always feels so good on the back of the neck, first thing in the morning. I don't know about you, but my mattress is not top quality. It does what it needs to do, but sometimes I really feel it in the neck at the moment. Switch sides, or in the neck in the morning. So switch directions. Exhale, down, inhale, up and over. The neck is something that is so often overlooked. It's not something that we go to stretch, even though it's something that carries so much tension. We can really trap a lot of tension in our neck. All right, let's draw the right arm across the body. We're going for some new space, some opening in this back part of the shoulder here. Let's inhale deeply for 4. Exhale, 8. Switch sides. I love doing this New Culture 1 because it's my foundation. It's basically in 4 parts where we are doing this floor work to stretch, then we make our way up to standing to do some sun salutations to warm up. Then we take some postures, and then after that we stretch again. And then you can almost say there's another portion if we decide to do meditation or breath work at the end. All right, come to all fours. Round the spine and drop the belly. So exhale to round. Inhale, shine the heart forward. You might be wondering, what are these terms, shine the heart forward? But it does make sense because as I say round the spine, this makes a lot of sense, right? When we round the spine, but when we say drop the belly, or when we say arch the back, we have this tendency once again to crank the neck back up here. That's not what we're doing. We want to keep that. We want to keep some our neck in a nice straight line with our head, okay? So that's why we say drop the belly, so you can really focus on the belly and not do too much. Be an extra. Okay, let's bump the hips to right and left. This is also one of my favorite movements, opening up the side body. As you might have heard me say before, I have had a lot of, just long story short, cheer, gymnastics, other sports have allowed my back to be not the healthiest. Being very intentional with my words. I don't want to speak anything over me that does not need to be over me, you feel? And one more time, bump the hips to the right and to the left. All right, knees wide, feet together, hips back. Reach forward and breathe. We'll take a 4-8 breath here. Inhale for 4. Exhale 8. Inhale 4. Exhale 8. Slowly come up, but stay low. Widen the hands. Press your shoulders or your heart forward and through for baby cobra. And then we send the hips up and back onto all fours. Tuck the toes. Up and back for our first down dog. Pedal the feet out. Right foot, then left foot. You might already be feeling a little bit of warmth in your body from the movement we've already done. But don't get too confident, all right? We still need to warm things up before we full on go for the big postures and the big bends and the big stretches. We don't want to hurt anything or pull anything. And it's morning yoga. Be gentle with yourself, okay? Let's walk to the top of our mats, one footprint at a time. Should really get some shirts made that say one footprint at a time. And forward fold. Take your own forward fold. Feel free to grab the elbows. You can also just stay with the palms on the mat. In for 4. Exhale for 8. All right, my favorite, let's roll it up one vertebrae at a time. I always like to imagine I'm a transformer and like I'm clicking into place. Click, 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 click. Tucking the tailbone under as we come up. Raise the arms up. Gaze up towards your hands. Press the palms together, hands by our sides. All right, let's move through some sun salutations. If this is the first time you're practicing with me and have never done sun salutations before, I did finally create a foundationals video, so you can find that. It might be in our membership portal only, but I'm pretty sure I did leave it up on YouTube for y'all. All right, so let's move into some sun salutations. We're gonna do 5 to 10. So let's start there, all right? Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, fold. Bend the knees, plant the palms, step back to push up, and lower yourself down. It's okay to start off on all fours at the moment. If you want to start off on your knees, that's fine. Inhale, draw the chest up. Let's exhale, come up to all fours, and use this to tuck the toes and send the hips up and back, all right? So morning flow, we're moving very gently. Step to the top of the mat, take a couple of steps to get there. And let's keep rounding in the spine, snaking up in the spine to stand up while we're still opening up the back. Hands come down into mountain pose. Let's cycle through it really smoothly. Inhale, arms up. And fold. Inhale, flat back. And fold back down. Make your way to plank. Lower all the way down. Elbows are always in. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale to all fours. Send the hips up and back. Step to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Round the spine. Stand up. Arms follow. Exhale, hands down. One more time with the fully modified sun salutation. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Lift the spine. And fold. Keep moving with your breath. Inhale to bend the knees. Come into a plank. Hold the breath here. Suspend the breath as you lower. Then inhale, lift the heart. Already maybe starting to find a little bit of a flow as you come up to all fours. Tuck the toes, send the hips up and back. Come to the top of your mat, forward fold. Round the spine, shift your weight back to your heels, snake it up. Arms follow. Exhale, hands down. All right, let's move into a full expression of our sun salutation. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, fold. Inhale, come into your flat back. And release. Make your way down to push-up. Really try to stay in push-up this time. If you can, challenge yourself. Elbows in, lower down. This time we lift the heart and see if you can come up just a little bit more without hurting the lower back. Tuck the toes, hips up and back. Top of the mat, forward fold. Moving with your breath. This time's arms out and stand. Exhale, arms down. Our fifth one, inhale, arms up. Exhale, release. Lift the heart, lift the spine. Take your fold. Make your way to push up and lower. Press through upward facing dog. And send the hips up and back. Forward fold, top of the mat. And lift the arms to stand. Exhale, bring the palms down. Take a moment in mountain pose to breathe. Now that our bodies are warm, let's move into some postures, all right? Let's move into some different things. We're still gonna take this vinyasa flow. I'm really enjoying this dance. Hopefully you are too. How are you feeling in your morning yoga? If you're tapping in with me live on TikTok, let me know how you're feeling. If the flow is a little too fast, if I need to speed it up, just let me know how you're feeling. So now we're gonna go into a sequence that includes some warrior ones, maybe warrior two, and then we'll also do some triangle, okay? Just to open up the body and keep the flow going. All right, so let's inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the spine. And release your fold. Bend the knees. And step back. From here, from push-up position, send the hips up and back to downward facing dog. All right, so let's lift the right leg up and just take a moment to see how that feels. Activate your core, press away from the hands, and then bring your right knee in and down to the mat. You're welcome to do low lunge here, but try to challenge yourself. Squeeze the thighs in. Inhale, raise the arms. And exhale, come back down. Step back to push-up position. Challenge yourself to do a full push-up and exhale, lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Send the hips up and back to down dog. Same thing on the other side. Notice the flow that we're doing. Left leg goes up. Take a moment, challenge yourself, pressing away from your hands. The knee comes in and up. It's balance in our high lunge, squeezing the thighs together, pressing down in the foundations of your feet. Inhale, raise the arms, draw your thumbs back. That always helps me with alignment, thinking thumbs back, thumbs back. And exhale, hands down. And we step back to push up, lower all the way down. Inhale, heart comes forward. And hips up and back. This time, let's walk the hands to our feet for a forward fold at the back of the mat. Inhale for 4. Exhale, 8. Bend the knees generously, coming into a chair pose. Arms are out. Press into your heels to stand up. And press the palms together. Exhale, trace your spine as the hands come down by the side. Step together, mountain pose. Breathe for a moment. Notice your heart beating. Maybe your breath is coming a little faster. Feel the mat or the earth under your feet. And take a moment to breathe. So we'll do that again, this time transferring into warrior two. All right, so let's inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the spine. And fold. Bend the knees, walk your palms towards the front of the mat until you come into push-up position. Adjust your feet so they are nice and wide. Great. From here, lower. Inhale, bring the heart up, baby cobra. Or excuse me, upward facing dog. And hips up and back. Down dog. Nice. All right, send the right leg up again. Make it slow. Bring the right knee forward. High lunge. This time, pivot the back foot down and open up towards the left side of your mat, coming into warrior two. All right, let's just hang out in warrior two for a moment. Feel the strength. So squeeze the inner thighs just a little bit. We're pressing away from the mat with our feet, but we're also lifting our hearts. So there's a lot happening right here. It doesn't look like much from the outside because we're not moving and stretching and all of this, but just holding this here, being with this strength is a lot. Okay, let's release it into peaceful warrior. Back arm drops, right arm comes up. Right elbow comes to the knee, left arm comes up and over. And from here, bring the hands down to frame the feet. Step back to your push-up position. Lower, move through all the way back to downward facing dog, okay? Move with your breath. Trust your breath. All right, meeting in down dog. Same thing on the other side. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step through. Inhale, pivot the back foot. And open the arms up to the right side of the mat. We're here. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 8. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 8. Last time, inhale for 4. And exhale 8. Drop the back arm, lift the left arm, inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, elbow to knee, reverse sides. Right arm comes up and over, still in that deep lunge. And we bring the hands to frame the foot, low lunge. Now we move through our chaturanga. Get away from me, fly. All right, in downward facing dog, step, walk, or hop to the top of your mat. Forward fold. And let's round the spine, slowly roll it up. Inhale, arms come up overhead. And exhale, palms down. Take a moment in mountain pose. This is our resting pose. You might hear some yogis say that down dog is resting pose. Their shoulders must be made of bricks because no, it's not. So let's rest in our mountain pose. Breathe deeply. In for 4. Out for 8. In for 4. And out for 8. All right, let's step nice and wide. Coming into a nice big star pose. Arms are out wide and they go up. And then we exhale, clasp the hands behind your back. Draw the shoulders down, heart up. And from here, forward fold. Letting your arms come up naturally. All right, so in for 4. Out for 8. This is a great shoulder stretch. If you have any shoulder injuries or you're feeling like twinges of pain or discomfort, you can bring your hands down to your hips or down to the floor in a forward fold. All right, let's do the breathe one more time. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 8. Now we all let the hands down and come together in this nice wide fold. All right, let's shift our weight to the right leg. We can grab the right ankle and just hang. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 8. This is great for the spine, great for the lower back, releasing everything up to the neck. Use your hands to walk you over to your other foot. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 8. And come back to the center line. Bring your hands to the mat. Bend the knees. We're coming into a nice, wide, low lunge or goddess. Not low lunge, excuse me, squat or goddess pose. You can stay supported with your hands on the mat or bring your knees, your elbows up to your knees and press outward. Let's inhale for 4. Exhale for 8. All right, bring your hands to the mat. Tuck one leg under you. Slowly make your way down to a seat. All right, let's send the right leg out long. I'll angle this way. I don't mind having my leg off the mat. But tuck your left leg in, right leg is straight. Let's angle our body over that right leg. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, fold. Reaching for the foot. And then if you are not able to reach towards your foot, drop your hands to the mat. No pressure. It's morning yoga, y'all. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 8. On your exhale, see if you can melt your heart down closer to your leg. If you're able to clasp your foot this morning, okay, but don't crank it, all right? Just be easy. Inhale deeply. Exhale, release. All right, let's draw the heart up. Same thing on the other side. Inhale for 4, exhale for 8. Hopefully your heart rate is starting to come down a little bit, but your body is nice and warm. I'm out here in this Puerto Rican heat, el sol de Puerto Rico, and it is hot. Okay, so I'm dripping over here, but so well worth it because my body is nice and warm. I feel like I can get a really deep stretch from these very little things that we're doing. Last 4 to 8 breaths. Come up. Let's bring our feet together. Supta Baddha Konasana. Your feet can be a little bit away from your body. They don't have to be tucked in really hard. And as we're sitting like this, let's use our thumbs to massage the bottom of our feet. Through my own practice and just over the years, I have strayed away from using the Sanskrit words simply because I speak English. So, going back and forth with being politically correct, wanting to honor my Indian cousins, because yoga is Indian and African, but wanting to honor my cousins in their beautiful language and their culture, their immediate culture, right? However, I recently also heard some information that said, why is it that the standard for cooking, French cooking, is still taught in French? You sous vide something, you flambe, you saute, all of those are French words. In martial arts, there are certain terms for things and they use the martial arts words. In capoeira, there are certain terms for things and the terms are in Brazilian. So why in yoga in America have we come away from using the Sanskrit words? So I'm getting back to it, as well as learning the Kemetic words, because once again, yoga is Indian and African. Please do your research. There's yoga on the pyramid walls at Giza. All right? Okay, let's sit up tall. Let's find some breath work, okay? Let's find some breath work. What are we gonna do? Shall we do a 4-8 breath or an oscillating nostril breath? Let's switch it up a little bit. Having some homegrown Puerto Rican cacao. I did not grow it, but it was grown at home. Let's do a box breath. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, suspend the breath for 4. All right, so let's begin. In for 4, hold, release, hold, in, hold, release, hold. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Halfway there, let's keep going. Let's inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Inhale, last one. Hold, exhale, hold. Let's take a really deep breath in. Hold at the top for 10, 9, 8, 7, and release. Suspend the breath at the bottom for 30 seconds. No breath in or out. Halfway there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale deeply. Hold at the top for 10. And release. Beautiful. If you have the space in your own personal practice, I encourage you to do that 2 more times with that breath work. For us, let's bring our hands to our heart and acknowledge the work that we did on the mat, morning flow. Sometimes the hardest thing is just to show up. If you need some help getting into your morning routine, I have a morning routine that I'd love to share with you. It's already up on our morning routine playlist on New Culture YouTube. It's Muji's meditation to begin with. It's about 15 minutes. And then there's also 15 minutes of breath work. You can do this first thing in the morning before you even get out of bed. So hopefully you'll get your heart and soul right, you'll get your breath work right, and then that'll prompt you to do the next video, which is New Culture 1, which is a version of what we just did here this morning, all right? And so let's bring our hands to our forehead, bow ourselves out of our session, but not out of our practice, because what you do on the mat, energetically, you can take with you the rest of the day. So as always, thank you for practicing with me live. It really does encourage me when you guys pop on here so we can do these lives together. But if you don't have the space to practice at 7:30 in the morning or when I wake up, you can always practice whenever you have time on our YouTube. On the YouTube page, the current series that we're doing will be up, but any previous series are already in our members portal on Patreon. So if you want information for that, hit me up. And then also it's at the end of our information in the YouTube page. So you go to YouTube, click on any of the videos. The link is there to go to New Culture Patreon as well. All right, love and light, and I'll see you on the mat.